Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Jine and it's Jine's signatures. So today I'll be making this beautiful bridal robe, this customized something like this. This was what my client sent to me that she wanted something for a wedding as well. So she bought the fabric. I don't know the vendor, so but she bought the color of her own uh, party, or I don't know, her own wedding, the color she wants. But this is exactly what I'll be replicating. So if this is what you're interested in and you soon be a bride, sit back, relax, and enjoy the tutorial. It's not going to be too lengthy and it's going to be very beginner friendly. So after making it, this is what we have, because this was the fabric she brought for me. It's a customized fabric, and then I made use of organza fabric to do the plates and everything, the designs you're seeing around it and at the lower parts. So like I said, if this is what you're interested in, sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Probably when she sends me the video of the transition she used, when she used it for the transition, I'll be placing it on my shots so that you would see how it came out looking very beautiful as well on her. So now, without wasting further ado, this is the main tutorial for today. And if this is what you're interested in, like I said, sit back, relax, and enjoy it. And if this is your first time of coming across my channels, please kindly check out all the beautiful tutorials on the channel, and you'll be glad you did. And please just don't check it out. Just click on the subscribe button because it's totally and entirely free. Thank you all and God bless you. So let's dive into the tutorial. So I was just trying to show you different types of the styles and what she showed me here. So depending on the color you want, you go for what you want. So this is the main fabric, as you can see, trying to show you that it's customized, like a name was written on the fabric. So now I folded my fabric into four because of course I'll be cutting both the front and the back together. So I'm going to be using the whole length of this fabric because the length is not even up to 50. So that was why I used my ungathering fabric to make it up for the length. But if your own length is very long, you don't need to add organza at the lower part. But if you feel like this is exactly what you want, you can just cut out the extras and then add your organza at the lower parts, no problem. So the first thing I'm going to be doing now after folding on 4 is to get my waist measurement. Very important. Just get your shoulder to your waist measurement, because that is where we're going to be imputing our belt somehow. So then you get your waist to your hip or your shoulder to your hip line. So those are the lines that are just to drill out. So the next thing to do now is I just wanted to use a more visible chalk because I felt like I was using blue because the fabric itself is sky blue, and I was using blue and it was not showing, so I just had to use a red chalk to highlight that very well. So the next thing to do now is to get my whole shoulder measurement. I'll be using the entire length, but I'll be cutting out some extras from there because I'll be using it to do my collar. So now, for example, if your shoulder to your sleeve length is 20, just check the particular organza you have, or organza, anyone your money can go for. You know, organza is more superior than organza. So you get the length of your pleats before you deduct that from this length of your sleeve. I believe you understand what I did. So right here now I'm removing about 6 inches from here because I'll be using my organza to replace it. So just go ahead and remove it. So that is what I'm trying to mark all the way down. So I think I removed about 8 inches because it was too long. Because if I say I should leave it like this and then add the organza, it will be just, I don't know how it will be. It will be like a masquerade dress somehow. So you just have to reduce it anyhow, even by 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches, any inches you deem fit. Just reduce it before you add back that. So I'll be setting that aside because, like I said, I'll be using it for the collar later. So like I said, this is what I'll be using to make it up. So now the next thing to do now is to come to our neckline. So for my neckline, I'll be using 3 inches. I'll not be sloping down my neckline, my shoulder. I just want it covered like that. So I'll just leave it like that. I'm not sloping it. At the end of the day, did I slope it? I can't even remember, but I don't think I sloped it. You know, this is going to be having about it's going to be a butterfly kind of a kimono. I'm not going to be sewing it all the way. The sewing is going to be on top. So that's why we're making use of our waist and our hip measurements, because it has to be free, but it has to be fitted. I don't know, as in half shape, I beg your pardon. So I'm taking in my waist measurements, my hip measurements and all that, with extra up to 4 or 5 inches extra allowances to make it free and bogus. So this is, you just need to make it as bogus as possible. You don't even need to do your hip measurement. This waist measurement was just needed for me to know how to get my keyhole. So for that keyhole, I went up by 2.5 inches from my waist measurement, and I did the 2 inches round till I got to the lower part. So that's how I got my keyhole, and that's just, it's just on the waist measurement. Just measure. If you want yours to be very big, you can go ahead and do that. So I'll just, okay, I slanted it here, I slanted it open, so I joined it on the shoulders. But if you have enough fabric, it's not necessary for you to join it on the shoulder. You can just leave the shoulder like that. But I wanted the shoulder to sit perfectly well, so that was why I decided to slope my shoulder by 1.5 inches. So now I'm cutting out the keyhole by the side. As you can see, that's where our belt is going to be passing through. If you look at the video very well, you see that they used belt to hold it. You know, it's a free gown, so if you don't use a belt, it's going to be looking ugly and bogus. So I set that aside for the back, and this is the front where we'll be working on now to get our collar. So for the collar, take in the depth you want for your neck depth. I used 7 inches, and then from that 7 inches I'll be marking 1.5 inches all the way down. You can use 2 inches, so there's no point in saying it's only 1.5 inches. You can use 2 inches, you can use 2.5, depending on how big you want your collar to be. So by the time I'm fixing back my collar, I'll be cutting out on fold 2 inches. So I'll use half an inch to join, and then the 1.5 inches will be our normal collar. So I'll go ahead and cut all this out. So that's what I was just trying to show you. So let me just cut this piece out. It's just like as if we're cutting our kimono gown or top. That's why I said this tutorial is very, very beginner friendly. So now we have this. So I'll just open it up so that you'd see it. So this is what we have. So you can see how it's looking. So now the next thing for me to do now is to, number one, place my back's fabric right sides facing each other and join it on the shoulders, half inch on the shoulders respectively. When cutting out your shoulders, remember to add half an inch for joining allowance on the shoulders before you cut it out, because I did that. So after doing that, this is what we have. So the next thing to do now is to measure from one point of this length of the kimono gown to the other side. You measure it all across the neckline so that you know the length you're going to be cutting out for the collar that you will have to replace. So just measure it all the way around like this. Just take it gently and then measure all the way. So by the time you get here, you extend your tape. If your tape is up to 120, you can go ahead and measure it all through. So having measured it, I'll just go ahead, cut out my collar. I already have several tutorials on how to do this, so I don't know. But let me just show you how I did that. So this is my collar. Like I told you, my collar is supposed to be 2 inches because I cut out 1.5 inches. I need half an inch to join it back to the fabric. So I'll just go ahead, join it to make it long, and then I'll be back to show you the next step. So I've gone ahead to join it. Like I said, the tutorial is already plenty on the channel. That's why I didn't bother to waste time. So just cut out your collar the way you want it to be. I'll be using my weaving machine to do all those edges. As you can see, I've gone ahead to join my collar, and our gown is coming out to be what we expect it to be. So now the next thing to do now is to come to our keyhole, and then we're going to be cutting out our organza fabric to run our pleats on the sides of the kimono. So I'm just trying to measure what I have here. So whatever you have here, you're going to be either multiplying it by 3 depending on the volume of organza that you have. Like for instance, for this tutorial I made use of 3.5 yards of organza fabric. So depending on the full thing you want, you can use 4 yards. So there's no particular measurement for that, but you need nothing less than 3.5 yards for this, I bet you. So now, in order for me to cut out my ruffles, I brought my organza fabric. Don't worry, I'll be ironing it after I must have sewn it. It's looking ruffled, don't worry. So I'll just measure out. Remember, I cut out about 8 inches. If I can't be, I think 6 inches. Yeah. So now I'll be cutting out about 7 because of sewing allowances. So I'll cut it out. So on fold, it must be on fold, and then I'll cut it out, and then I'll go ahead and attach it. So having cut it out, I went ahead and then attached it on the sides, as you can see. So all you need to do is to just be pleating as you're sewing. Be pleating as you're sewing. So for the keyhole area, I made use of my zigzag machine using a matching thread. That's the best thing to use for this keyhole, because if you say you should use bias, it will not be neat. But I used my zigzag machine to achieve this using the thread, the color that matches the fabric, and it came out looking very easy, neat and clean. You won't even know that I sew any part there. So for the inside edges, I'm going to be using my weaving machine to weave it all the way. So now, in order for us to determine where we are going to be closing, you know, I told you that the closing is going to be on top because it's the butterfly kimono. So all you need to do is to get where your waist measurement is. You divide your waist by 2. Remember, you added enough allowances to make it bogo. So I'll just advise you don't even need to measure anything. It must be, is a robe, so it's supposed to be big. Just go ahead and sew directly by the line of the whatever, and then you're through.